In your ragdoll, sway from side to side. Let your head drop more. Like, just let your skull collapse. And keeping your knees really bent to be really encompassing and make allowances for your low back and hamstrings. And just start to lengthen your hamstrings toward the ceiling. And you're not doing it in a big giant way. It's very subtle. You remember, I find my feet first. I relax my toes. So relax your toes, Jim. There you go. Yeah. It's so funny, like we'll come into these positions and sort of white knuckle through them. and we'll do that with our feet and we won't even know. It's so the practice of yoga just wakes us up to getting a little bit more awake and aware to how much we grip. Let your jaw soften. Bring your hands to the floor, please. Step back, down facing dog. With your feet hip width apart, let your knees be bent and let your tailbone, your hamstrings, lengthen toward the ceiling. Let your head drop between your arms and then slowly please shake out on an exhale your head side to side. Anchor down through your index fingers. Anchor down through your middle finger. So feel your knuckles where the base of the finger knees press down there. Make sure your pinky fingers are relaxed. And then walk it out. Bend one knee. Let your hips kind of swing and circle around. Just subtle movements though, subtle movements. Let the practice teach you and remind us all that we build slowly into a flow. And the body just feels, like it can relax with that. Because it doesn't feel like, forced or it's going to be pushed into something too extreme, especially right at the beginning. Just let yourself connect to your breathing. Let yourself find your hands and your feet. Let yourself find your finger bones and get really dialed into the bones of the fingers. Press them into the mat. So you make sure that your hands are really connected, really present. You just create stability. From the beginning of the flow, first and foremost, create the foundation. Big breath in. Open your mouth, sigh it out. Walk up, feet to your hands. Bring your hands to your knees or shins. And press your hips straight back. Now, Jim, just pull your chest up a little bit more. That's excellent. Come up a little bit more. That. Now, tuck your chin into your chest a little bit. Now, press the crown of your head right into my hand as you send your hips back. Do you feel that difference in the spine?
Yeah, I can never get it quite straight.
Yeah, so straighten your arms a little more. Straighten your arms. Straighten them. Yeah, but keep your chin tucked in so to lengthen the neck. Because if both of you pick up your head, and then you'll notice that it's cut off at the neck. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, let your chin lengthen down, but it doesn't just collapse. There's integrity, and the crown of your head is pushing to the front wall, the hips press to the back wall. Big inhale, melt your chest into your thighs, empty out the breath while you do it. Follow breath in and just take yourself up to stand, and all you're looking to do is get stretched. That's it. Nothing fancier. But you have stability. You're creating it. Press the feet down. Mounds of the big toes. Press them down. Squeeze up your legs. And it's as if your inner thighs spin to the back wall. Tailbone gently drops toward the heels. Reach up a little more and use your exhalation to take yourself a little back. Widen your arms out a little more and give your shoulders some space on a Saturday morning. You want to think full body breathing. You create full body space. Just like my coffee Mary gave me, it's full body. Fold forward, breath going out as you come down. Nice, Mary. Lift halfway, breathe in. Your shoulders are coming down from your ears. Beautiful. Down facing dog. On the exhalation to get there. So you breathe in, and then you move that air out. Breath comes in slower. Exhale is longer to extinguish. Legs together, please. Left heel pressing down. Right leg, inhale it up to the ceiling. And just stretch your leg up there. Lift it up. And then stretch it out of your hip a little by pushing your upper heel into the ceiling, so to speak. Now just bend your upper knee and roll open onto the right side. Roll your hip down, foot to the floor, left leg. But anchor down to that right heel a bit, even if the right knee is bent. Just get the stability in the bottom leg, and that helps you to have a real feeling of support underneath you, a foundation of stability and strength to go higher with the upper leg. Push through the upper heel, and then just simply put the bend in the knee, exhale, roll open. Upper foot's pressing like it's right against a wall. Roll your hip down, and just step nice and easy to the front edge of your mat. And then nice and easy, bring a breath with you on the inhale, hands to the shin bones, halfway lift. Interlace your hands behind your back, clasp hold, fold forward, breath out. All the way to stand, but your inhale takes you and inflates you going up, and you're not just focusing on about the up, you want to really get rooted in the feet and the legs. Press your chest into your thighs, fold. Lift halfway, breath in. Exhale again, fold. Keep your knees really bent. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, step back to high push-up. Down dog on the breath out. Feet hip width apart here. Give yourself a little more space, just a little, yeah. Now both of you, spin your inner thighs to the back wall in your down dog. Squeeze up your legs. Big exhale out. Take a breath with me and a big sigh with me. Walk feet to your hands. Find a flat back, breath in, hips back, fold forward. In breath, rise up to stand. Big exhale, pull your hands straight to your heart. Move your shoulders down from the tips of your earlobes. Move the shoulders back. Your eyes closed, exhale what you got. In breath. And we'll do one Om. You can sing out with me, or you can sing it silently, whatever. Thumb knuckles to forehead center. Your practice this morning is just an opportunity for you to make a reconnect to you, to your body, to yourself. It's all for you. This practice is all you. Reach up on an inhale. Use your exhalation to gently melt your chest to your thighs. Bend those knees, bend them. Lift up halfway. Step back, high push-up. In high push-up, remember to press the heels back. Really squeeze up the legs. Squeeze them up. Now really pull the belly up into the spine and press straight down through the floor with your arms, like you're really pushing the floor away from you so your chest gets higher. Rock forward, chin away from your chest, rock forward, exhale, low push up. Pause. In breath, up facing or half cobra. Get the tops of the feet planted and pushed into the floor. Hands pressed down. Jim, I want you to walk your hands a little more forward, just a tiny bit more forward with your hands. And then really just press your chest through your arms. Shoulders are going to peel back. Does that make sense? Yeah, do you feel that difference?
Yeah.
Exhale, hips high, head low, down dog. Big breath in. Gonna come hang out with me. Big exhale. Big in. Bigger out. If you breathe it all out, you get it all out, you're gonna have freedom for breath. Your inhale's gonna just feel spacious and lighter, and it's gonna have room. It's gonna have room to fill you up from within. That's what this practice is, what I love it. One of the things about it that's amazing is it fills you up from the inside. Exhale. Feet to hands. Hug in your belly and just walk or float feet to hands. Lift halfway. Full breath in. Fold, forward, fold. Just let everything melt down. And giving this time to you. All for you. This practice is all dedicated to yourself. Rise up. Breath in. Look up. Put a smile on your face. Empty the breath. Chest right into thighs. Head low. Head low. Feet pressing. Root them. Halfway lift. Chest lifting. Spine pulling forward. Step back to plank position. You can always take it on your knees. There's nothing to prove. Rock forward, low plank. Bend those elbows. And then press your chest through, like past your arms a little. And down facing, out breathing. Get all the air out first. Let it be really clear. You just create an empty space to take breath in, and that feels better. And you give space between a breath in and a breath out, which feels better because you don't feel so rushed. Exhale. Hugging your core. When the air is out, then you zip up your belly. You look between your hands, and you just jump. Or whatever you do, and then you lift halfway up, full breath in. We're just going to be in the flow now. Fold forward, empty everything. Stay with the sound of your breath. It's really all you got to do. Rise up to stand. Firm up your thighs. Empty everything. Fold. Halfway lift. In breath. Exhale to move to plank position. Get the air out clean. Then breathe in high plank. Now rock forward on the balls of the feet so the chest comes through and breathe out. And then your inhale meets you with upward dog and vice versa. And your exhale flushes out and moves you to down dog into a flow. And then you breathe in. And then you breathe out. And you keep thinking, my inner thighs spin to the back wall. My legs can be bent. And then I just gently lengthen my hamstrings toward the ceiling. And you don't worry about making that happen in a big rush. You just get a feel for your body, and your body starts to loosen up and get a little heated, which makes stretching feel better because it's easier. Breathe in. Clean house on the breath out. Snuff it out. Zip up your core. Walk or float. Feet to hands. Flat back, breath in. Forward fold, empty. Bend your knees and sink your hips, and then take your arms up in the air. Remember, you have a lot of power in your legs, so we're going to drop into the legs and the lower body more because it builds heat. And yet you're still going to breathe in and you're going to breathe out. Now, here's a trick. Drishti, it's eye gaze. You get your eyes on one place, eye level. They don't wander around the room. You can look around all the rest of today. But right now, send your gaze to one spot and meet yourself there with breath in and breath out. Now the thing about gaze that's so powerful is it really helps the nervous system with the eyes having only one thing. The eyes are darting all over the place, the mind's all over the place. It's like a wild candle flame. Sink a little lower and put weight into your heels and pull your toes up off the floor. And then squeeze up your thighs, squeeze up your glutes. You need your lower body to have this power. And then upper body has a little bit more lightness, a little more supple. And if you need to open up your shoulders more, just open your arms wider. Sink a little lower. Nice work. Exhale, fold forward. Collect your bearings. See, we never do that. We're always on to the next thing. Just take a moment to just fold in and meet yourself again. Meet up with breath and breath out. And then halfway lift, inhale, exhale, high push-up. Look forward, chin away from your chest. Rock forward on the feet. It takes your chest forward past your arms. Up facing, palms, root them, shoulders back, down facing. Nice. Bend your right knee and take a few steps to get it between your hands. Like normally you take a giant leap, take a couple of steps. Inch your way into this pose. Ground your back foot flat onto the floor. Bring your chest up off your thighs and take your arms up straight over your head. And so your arms are lined over your shoulders. And then your palms spread wide. The palms face one another. And you just bend into your front knee. A lot of times we'll take warrior one and we don't realize our front knee is not bent that much. You want to look to get to a 90-degree angle. And if you don't do it today, it's okay. Just give your best today. And tomorrow's a different practice. Or the next time you practice, it's a new day. And as you get stronger, especially in the lower body, you can start to go beyond where you were. That's what we're meant to do. That's called growth. Reach up, exhale, bend back. Keep thinking, I'm drawing my right hip back. I'm really pressing my right knee open. Oh, I don't forget my back foot, so squeeze up my back leg. So there's a real sense of oak tree in your lower body, like the feel of that. And then the upper body is lighter, like a tree that's lighter, like a willow tree.
Is this the tree before or after the storm?
I'm going to call this class that. Hands to the floor. Good work. Hot push-up. Full breath in. Then use the breath going out to get yourself into low plank. It'll feel better. Up facing. Empty out, down facing. We figured out in yoga, it feels better to breathe when I am in these poses and when I'm in these movements. And there's a fluidity that starts to show up. Not in the beginning. Never come to yoga thinking you're going to be all fluid and bendy-wendy and all of that. You build into that. Left foot steps forward. Knee is over your ankle. Ground your back foot. Use your inhale to rise. And then get back into the integrity of your foundation. And this is what we do in the practice. We come into the same poses with a presence and a wakefulness. And then you just refine a little more so there's a deep integrity. Wear your eyes. Put your tongue behind your two front teeth and make more room in your mouth for breath. Let your palms spread wide. Let your fingers stretch apart. Push into both feet though. Push into both feet. Notice if you root down, you'll get a lift in your spine. There will be a stability and anchoring, but there will be some buoyancy. Draw the left hip back. The right hip and shoulder steer forward. into the spine. Reach up, bend back on, long breath out. Move the air through, open mouth wide. In and out breath to the floor, high plank. Go with the sound of breath to go with the flow. Low push-up. Upward dog, but a big inhale, inflate your lungs. And then deflate. All that you just took in, move it all through, down dog. And then breath. Listen to the sound of you and hear that there's power in that sound. And then that power is an energy that starts to fill your body up and you start to feel more empowered, but also more inspired. Because as you get more oxygen into the brain and into the lungs, it uplifts your mood. It doesn't just uplift your physical energy, it uplifts you mentally and emotionally. And as you create space for breathing in the body, you create more space for yourself in your head and your heart. Feet to your hands, please. Find your flat back, breathe in. Find your forward fold. Make the practice your own. Your own. There's freedom in that. Give yourself permission to make it your own. And then bend your knees, sink your hips. Sweep the arms up. Dig into the heels, heart lifting. And press forward, chest to thighs. Breathe in to get into your halfway lift. Breathe into it. Exhale to get to plank position. High push up in, low push up, move it all through. When that's all cleared, in breath upward, all cleared, down dog, move the air through. Right foot steps forward, back foot plants. With your feet planted, inhale yourself up. Don't worry about the alignment, just come on up, just feel what it is to move, and then move back to the floor, high push up. Lower. Upward. Press your arms straight down. Chest lifts a little more. Down facing. Left foot steps. Back foot grounds. Both feet rooted. You rise up. And empty out to come back. Move through. High push up in. Low push up out. Up dog in breath. Down dog, push all the air through. Breathe in slow. Breathe out slower. Breathe in, breathe out slower. In, out. Whenever you're ready, you come up, you get feet to your hands. Connect the dots. Use your breath in, flat back. Use your breath out, fold. As if you were connecting dots. I do a lot of connect the dots these days because Stoney's really into those connect the dot pictures. And he loves to see what's going to be created. And he loves the sequencing. And I love that he loves the order. There's an order. And when we practice yoga, we come into right order. When you get the breath flowing in the body and it's more seamless breathing, there's order and there's flow to the day. It's like an internal structure is created, an inner direction, and we're clear and we're connected to that compass on the inside of us. And everything else can find its way back into place. You come to yoga and everything starts falling falling back into right order. Bend your knees and stay with right order by breathing in your chair pose. Arms reaching. Exhale, fold in. Halfway lift, breathe in. Move to plank position. Remember, legs strong, belly in. Because you'll forget in the flow. Lower down. Upward. Down facing. Step your right foot forward. And keep your back heel lifted. Arms come straight up over your head. Press through the front foot. Press the right knee open. Turn your toes out ever so slightly, Jim, on the front foot, just to make more room in that right hip pocket. Push through your back heel and let your tailbone drop. Now pull your belly right into your spine and keep rooting through the feet. Get connected, and then everything else gets lifted and lengthened away from the floor. And then hands to the heart, twist it out. Left elbow outside your right leg. You try to bring your palms in prayer at your heart. And if you bring your palms into prayer at your heart, it's like this. And so you're going to exhale to twist. Yeah. And can you bring this elbow down? Find your footing. Always find your breathing. Nice, Mary. And then go ahead. Straighten your arms away from one another. Make more room for yourself. Use a block. How did I know that was going to happen? I know, because I've fallen out of the poses myself. And then you stay with the flow of breath and you just right back in. You're still connecting your dots. Press your lower lung toward that wall you're facing. It's almost as if your spine melts toward your heart and your shoulders move back out of the way. Nice. Warrior 2. That back arm swings up and around, the back foot grounds. Reverse your warrior. Right arm. Spin it to face you. Look up. And can you create lift and length, but don't forget your foundation. Turn your front toes, Jim, to 12 o'clock. Bend your front knee. Press it forward. Press it open. You get everything reaching away. And just let your back arm relax on your back leg. Or wrap it around you. But if you wrap it around you, consciously, mindfully, pull that right hip down a little bit and just get longer. And right into triangle. Go ahead, straighten your right leg. Reach all the way out so you get length in the spine. Then just open up the hips, open up the heart. Nice. Let your tailbone drop down. Beautiful. And let your front ribs go into your front ribs. Bring your focus there. And let your front ribs soften towards your belly button. And this will straighten out your thoracic, your mid-spine. Breathe. Let the upper hand pull you right up to stand. Turn your right toes, so all 10 toes face this wall in front of you. Take your hands to your low back. Hug your elbows toward each other. Press your chest to the ceiling. Hips forward. Legs are strong. Fold, out breath. Let your head melt. As you get the body warmed up, as you really get things warmed up, you'll want to go into deeper stretches. But see, you took some time to build into that. We didn't do that right in the beginning. And you're still pressing the outer edges of your feet. It's like if you could shine your outer ankles to the side walls and then just press your inner thighs towards your outer thighs. Bring your hands to your hips, exhale everything. Come on up to stand after that. Turn your right toes to face forward. Step your back foot in quite a bit so you're really in the presence of your back leg. Your leg has a lot of presence and you feel that connection. Just press your hips forward, squeeze your elbows toward each other again. Look up, chin away from the chest, and then just fold. Get the big toe of your front foot pushed into the floor. Even if you took your own thumb and kind of stamped it into the floor, stamped your big toe mound into the floor, it feels good. And then draw your right hip back and just think, could I spin my inner thigh on the front leg toward the front wall? Could I spin my inner thigh on my back leg to the back wall, but then could I squeeze the thighs toward each other? Like they're being magnetized toward a center line. Bring your hands to the floor, step back, high push-up. Good work. Rock forward, bring that chest right through your arms, so bend those elbows back. Yeah. Upward facing. Straight back, down facing. Full bodied inhale. Open the mouth, get all of it out. Nice. Full breath in. Anchor down through those index fingers again, because again, in the flow you forget. And then we remember. Good. Step your left foot forward. Your back heel will stay up. Your inhale gets you up to stand. You bring your chest right over your hips. Torso over your hips. Exhale, hands to your heart. Breath in. Squeeze your back leg, Jim. And then twist on the next breath out. You're twisting as you breathe out. So your right elbow comes outside your knee, or as close as possible. And you think, can I press my bottom lung toward the wall in front of me? Can I turn my gaze to look up, and maybe you let your head fall back? Maybe you just kind of let yourself go that way. Let some light in. Open up your throat, let some light in. And then just go ahead and take your arms apart. Take that block. Get the wrist, on the bottom wrist, directly under your shoulder. That's it. Now root down through the hand to get lifted through the bottom arm. Feel that difference?
Yes.
Okay. Bottom shoulder, draw it back. Yeah, nice. Press your bottom lung toward that wall directly in front of you. Let your shoulders move back. And as you loosen up and warm up in the mid-back a little more, it's like your spine melts toward the heart. Your heart. And keep inviting your spine to stay at home. Roll open. Turn your back foot flat, warrior two. Take a look at your front foot, 12 o'clock. Press your knee to the baby toe edge. Root down through both feet. And take your back arm, either relax it on your leg or wrap it around, and then reverse your warrior. So that left arm reaches up. But the inhale stretched you more than just taking the arm up could do. Good. Big inhale. Front knee pressing forward. And then go ahead, this front leg will straighten. And you reach out there to the neighbors and invite them to yoga, and then triangle. Take your back foot open a little more, just to create room, but not so wide that you get into a crisis energy in the legs. You want stability, and you want to stay with the breath. It's like the breathing, connecting to that, the awareness, will help you keep connecting your dots. Your legs are firming up, and your chest just rolls open, and your head could fall back even. Just let light in. Draw the shoulders down from those ears. Nice. Bring yourself right up to stand. Turn your front toes. Good. Hands to support the low back, your low back supported. Squeeze the elbows together. And as you breathe out, fold. Folding forward. Your legs are squeezing strong, but you're just rooted in the feet. And here's the trick. If you root into the feet, your legs will activate. You root into the outer seams of your feet, the outer ankles. The inner ankles get a little lifted. it'll activate something else. There'll be a ripple effect in the body of stability where it's needed, and then the upper body says, oh, can I relax? Get all the air out, nice and easy and clean and clear. Hug in the belly, come up to stand, pushing through the feet to rise up. Yeah, that takes pressure off your spine. Turn your left toes to face forward. Your back foot steps in. Hands at your low back, squeeze your elbows toward each other. Really get that openness in the front of the body. And forward. Take your thumb or 2 fingers and whoosh your big toe on the left foot into the floor. Feel yourself lift halfway up. Pull your awareness to your spine. Move your hips back and let your spine lengthen away. And then you just keep folding over the front leg. But you remember, I keep sending my left hip back. I root down through that big toe. It's relieving when we connect the dots of how we can feel more stable in the pose. Bring your hands to the floor, down facing dog. Full in, hips side to side, full breath out. Bend your knees and just move around again in a way that feels good for your body. Just to feel what it is to move in your body helps you, empowers you to feel more connected to you. And boy, when we are living from being fully in our body, we're in the flow of life. We're in the present. It's as powerful as it gets. So you just breathe and you put more exhales and flush them so they move past the upper chest. It'll pull you out of your head. You'll be in your body and you'll be in the groove. You'll be in your groove. Feet to your hands. Flat back, full in. Full breath out. Rise up. Palms to the heart, empty out. Eagle pose, sweep up. Wrap the right arm underneath. Lift the elbows up. Push the shoulders back and push the arms away from the chest. Tailbone lengthens. Thighs squeeze. Huh? Right leg up and over. This is excellent because your spine is really straight and really standing tall. And just breathe into it. And breathe so you breathe into my hands. And just let yourself, yeah, like that. Sink down, breathe out. Big breath in, sweep up. Left arm sweeps under. Left leg now comes over. Eye gaze, one place, eye level. Legs squeeze because lower body power. Belly into spine. Hips sink a little bit. Thighs squeeze a little stronger. And then you release out of the pose. Really free yourself. Right arm under, right leg over. Find a place to put your eyes and keep them there. Moving breath through. Breath will move through. You just got to remember, keep moving it out. It'll move in and move out on your behalf. Release. Sweep up. Left arm, left leg. Squeeze those thighs together. Squeeze the belly. Pull it into the spine. Your spine is your lifeline. You need it to be strong, right? You have to have backbone, but you want some suppleness. Just press your arms together more and press your thighs together more and just think, squeeze, 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 like you're squeezing all the daylight out between the limbs, the upper and the lower. Release right out of it. Sweep up. Pull the palms to the heart. Flush that air through. Good. Hands to the hips. Grab hold of your right knee, your shin. Squeeze up your bottom leg. Maybe you tilt your tailbone a little bit towards your bottom heel. You hug in the belly. Open up your leg out to the right, slow. It's as if your inner right thigh rotated up, spun up toward the ceiling. Your bottom leg, though, powerhouse there. Come back to center. Arms go right up over your head, right over your hips. Extend your right leg right out in front of you. Flex the toes. Just send it straight back, airplane. Arms sweep back. Eyes are out in front of you, not straight down on the floor, out in front of you on the floor. Chin tucks in a little bit, Jim, and look out on the floor ahead. Keep sending that upper leg back. Bring your hands to your heart, come to stand. Move right into tree on the right foot. The right foot into the inner left ankle. Or into the inner left calf. Connect the dots of your practice being your practice. Connect the dots of staying with your body. The more you breathe, the more the breathing connects the dots mentally to the physicality, mind to body. And the more oxygen you pull into your lungs, into your brain, the more you wake up. And that'll give you the energy for the actual day, but it'll just make you more mindful as you go about the day. In addition, just consider that as you're working on the physical balance, it's doing something wonderful for you mentally and emotionally to be more balanced. Release that foot down. Left leg, you're going to bend the knee. You're going to grab the knee, your shin. You're going to bring the right hand to the hip. Your left foot is flexed. And you remember, can I push straight through the floor on my bottom foot? And can I squeeze up my bottom leg? You're just practicing getting more stable. And that helps your balance. And then you take the left leg, open it up. You could extend your right arm out if you wanted. Bring it back to center. Inhale the arms straight up over your head. Full bodied inhale. Full bodied exhalation. Send the legs straight back. Push through that heel. Beautiful. And see if very slowly your upper body lifts just a little higher. And see if your shoulder blades can squeeze your mid back a little bit more. Your lungs will just get the light of day. Bring your hands to your heart. Exhale, bring yourself to stand. Nice work. Tree, left foot. Bring it in. Eyes on one place. Get rooted into your bottom foot. Relax your toes, Jim. There you go. Find your heel instead. Plant it into the floor. Find the sole of your bottom foot. Spread it across the floor, and it will instantly help you connect the dots to a deeper stability. And there'll be integrity that just blossoms right up from the ground into your pose, into your tree. Open up your arms wide. Fingertips get a little bit more length out of your knuckles. Shoulder blades are coming down. And then get your belly into your spine. Pull in the middleman, so to speak, to support your physical balance. Breath coming in. Just let it flush through. Don't rush. Bring your upper foot to the floor. Good work. With your upper feet, both feet to the floor, just kind of lean toward one side so one foot comes off the floor and lean to the other. And then bend your knees. Bring both feet flat. Bend your knees. Sweep up. Empty your breath and get ready to fold forward and hook your big toes with your peace fingers. Knees are bent. And you turn your toes out just tight. Yeah, perfect. And that makes more room in your pelvis. Outer ankles press toward the wall, side walls. That lifts up your inner ankles, Jim. I see you back here. In breath, halfway lift. Out with it, fold in again. As you warm up the spine will start to melt. And your body will kind of just crave decompressing itself. We're just creating poses. We're just creating space to do that. For our body to untie itself and unclench itself. And relax your jaw even while you're down here. Get rooted back into your feet. First, put your mental focus into both your feet. Create that intention, stability. And when you're stable, you feel free. You feel free in your pose. Start thinking about your hamstrings ever so slightly lifting toward the ceiling. You haven't lost contact with your heels into the floor though. And your knees can be bent. You could literally just let your chest press right into your thighs like your chest was on the shelf. Your legs were the shelf. It'll give you more shelf-like in the pose. Release your big toes. Exhale everything. Push both feet into the floor. Knees are bent. Roll up to stand. Bend your knees. Inhale, arms over your head. Fold forward. Halfway lift. High push up. Rock forward, lower. Press the palms and feet into the floor. Up dog. Shoulders back. Spine pressing toward heart. Down dog. Spine melting toward heart and down dog. Right leg steps forward, warrior one. Rise up. No thought, just come up. Slow exhale, warrior two. No thought, reverse your warrior on a breath in. On the next breath out, into triangle. Remember the length of the spine and then open it wide. Push your feet to the floor. Bring yourself up to stand. Right foot turns to face this wall. Tailbone drops, firm up the legs. Elbows hug toward each other behind you. Heart lifting and opening up. Shoulders softening down. Fold forward. You could grab your big toes. You could grab your outer ankles or shins. You could take an arm bind where you could bend your right elbow and catch your hands behind you. Your practice, your call. Breathe. Empty out the breath in a way that you exhale straight to the last drop, like Maxwell House coffee, to the last drop. It's like all these coffee references, just because I know I have this coffee nearby. Full body, cleaning house, to the last drop on those exhalations. That allows you to really relax and feel at peace in your body. If we don't exhale very deeply, we are always going to be kind of more on the surface. That you're going to really kind of drop into the deep end of the pool of your own body. When you can be with yourself that way, it's the most incredible thing because it brings you such peace as you're relaxed. But that presence relaxes other people. Hands to the hips, exhale what you got, come on up. Right toes are going to turn forward, back foot steps right in, hands to both hips. Press your hips forward, squeeze up the thighs, and then squeeze them toward each other. So there's stability underneath you, and then the little back bend, and then pull your spine forward, move your hips back. Turn your torso and take your left hand to your right leg. Keep pulling the right hip back. And you could keep the right hand right on your right hip. Just leave it as is and just open up your chest. Or you could send the right arm to the ceiling. It's up to you. But be in your legs. Lengthen your spine. Then twist it over. Twist it out. And you could twist and shout if you wanted. I hope you're shouting to him about how you're getting these twisting poses. And you ask for it. And you ask for some and the universe delivers. Breathe in. Clean house. Release right out of it. Go to high, low, up, down, or meet in down dog. It's up to you. Your practice, your call. Nice, Mary. Straight back. Left foot. You take a big step. You find your way to warrior one. If you find your feet, you'll find everything you have everything you need. Empty out, warrior two. Reverse. Long breath in, get lots of strength, lots of stretch. Strengthen the legs, but lift in the torso. And exhale, straighten the leg and reach out, triangle. And just reach out and then just open up the arms wide. And just feel, can I press my bottom hand into my bottom leg a little more in a way that just gives me a little bit of a tiny lift in my bottom lung? Yeah. Can I tuck my chin into my chest just a little bit so I have a lot of beautiful length in my neck? Can I roll open? Can I have precision in my movements but also freedom to explore? And if you build a solid foundation, you'll have a knowing that you have freedom to explore your options of your own body. Go ahead, bring yourself straight up. Turn the toes. Take an arm bind. Just start with the right arm. Bend it behind you. Don't worry if you can't catch your fingers, but just grab onto your shirt. Press your hips and thighs forward. Lift your heart up. Empty out. Fold forward. Once you fold, you remember, where are my feet? Outer edges of my feet. I press them like they're against my feet. Like if I put the outer edge of my foot against your foot, it would activate a stronger connection in your body. Keep that stability thing activated, grounding and rooting, and then just let the upper body relax more into the pose. Tell your shoulder blades they can soften, they can loosen up. Tell your head, tell your thinking mind it can lighten up. Keep moving the breath out. We give the breath room to move freely in and out. That's true freedom, right? Otherwise, we hold the pose. It creates a density in us. Physically, we feel heavy. And in our mind, in our hearts, we feel heavy. There's a density. You need some density. You need some of that stability, but you want buoyancy too. You want the light of day. Press your feet to the floor, please, and come up to stand. You can release the arm bind, but turn your left toes to face forward. So the whole left foot faces forward. The back foot steps in. Please take the bind this way. So left arm up. Feel your inner thighs hug toward a center line. Stretch up. And then just take that bind for a moment over your left leg. Find your left big toe. And then start to turn your torso to the right. So your bottom lung spins the other way. This way. Yeah. Release your arms. Move into twisting triangle. So turn your torso toward the kitchen. And then twisting triangle. Make sure the bottom wrist is, the shoulder and the wrist are stacked. And just open wide. Breathe out. Roll your bottom lung toward the ceiling. Send it to the light. Release. Hands meet the floor. Downward dog. Breathe in. And when that's done, after a moment, breathe it out. Let your hips go side to side. You do feel a little bit looser, right, since you got here?
Absolutely.
You feel a little bit looser back there, Mary?
Yeah.
Okay. And you recognize the breath creates that heat that will loosen you up. So it's not just one, you need both. You need the body to get into these poses, of course, and you need the breath to ignite the poses, to help you stay in them mentally alongside your body. You're in the moment with them, and the breath flushes out tension, unties tension, unclenches it, releases compression. So you need the breath, not just the body. One can't work without the other. Let yourself come to your knees. Perfect. Mary was already headed there. You're going to move into camel. Get the front edge of your mat folded over. Have your knees hip width apart, feet hip width apart. Bring your hands to your low back and squeeze your elbows toward each other behind you. And get light of day into the front body. Get light air under the collarbones, space. Yeah, we need the right amount of stretch so that things can feel spacious. And the exhale puts things back where they belong. Your hips and thighs press forward. Your heart keeps just thinking about lifting. Don't worry about the arcing back. Just think about lift. Move my shoulders down toward the floor. Let my spine move toward my heart. Let it crack me open like a walnut. Oftentimes we're so afraid of cracking open whatever's inside, but really that's our freedom. Good. Bring yourself on up. Move into child's pose. Just kind of send your knees back. Take a rest for just a moment. Collect your bearings. Breathe in. Open the mouth, clear, wide. All of it out, all of it. Bring yourself up onto your knees. Please take camel again. Press those hips and thighs forward. Don't forget, you still want to make sure that extra support in the lower body. So squeeze the thighs toward each other as if the inner thighs spin to the back wall. Think about your torso getting lifted up and out of the ground of your pelvis, the soil of your pelvis. Elbow squeeze. Breathe. And release. Good. Go ahead and please come out onto your forearms. Elbows and forearms on the floor, hands interlaced in front of you. Make sure your elbows are right under your shoulders. And then take yourself into downward dog with your legs. Let your head press back towards your thighs, your chest press back towards your thighs. But please keep pushing your arms and hands into the floor. And you're just going to breathe in. You're not going to hold the breath. You're going to keep sending your weight back in your legs. Yeah. Breathe for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, you're almost there, 2, 1, let your knees soften to the ground. Child's pose. Send your hips really far back. Let your forehead really just melt into the ground and let your arms come undone in a way that allows your shoulder space to spread out and to just chill out. We get our bodies locked into these holding patterns, you know, and so that means that the musculature is always semi-contracted. But man, you start getting into the practice, you start learning how to breathe, you start recognizing, where are my shoulders? Are they hunched up? And then you can't quite go back to your usual anymore. Yeah, I was thinking about it on the way over. Like, I kind of look at my life now like life before yoga, life after yoga. And not just like, oh, after I took my first class, it didn't hit me like that. And I kind of just, you know, kicked it around, so to speak. Did it when it was convenient, you know, things like that. But I'm in a place in my life right now, in a space in my life where my life does not work without yoga. And I really don't care to go back. And there's just certain things that we find, and certain people that we find, and it's just like, it's like life before them and life after. And there's a presence that you really understand. There's a quality. There's a quality yoga can bring to all our lives. There's a quality certain people bring to our lives, the specific people, that you just wouldn't want to go back. Even on the days the practice is really hard, you always should just acknowledge and congratulate yourself and celebrate yourself for even unrolling the mat, because that's really the hardest thing. You get into those first few poses and you feel you're locked up, or you feel like, wow, my breath feels like, you know, it's a bag of frozen vegetables or something, or meat that's out of the freezer rock hard. And you get moving around and you start breathing and you start to feel a little easier about your movements, and your breathing comes a little easier, and then it shifts everything. Not just on your mat, but off your mat. So your days are always better. Like, I realize that, like my day on yoga compared to my day without yoga. Breath in, breath out. I want you to move right out onto your belly, please. So just slink yourself into coming flat onto your belly. And just let your cheek rest to one side. Let your arms rest at your legs, at your hips.
This is the movement with attitude segment of the practice.
Mary has the best commentary. She has the absolute best commentary in all the classes I teach. It's just always, and it's so authentic and it's so real, and it's so refreshing. And she has just the right hint of sarcasm to make it fun and funny. Lift your head up, let your other cheek soften onto the floor. So both sides get an even opportunity, an equal opportunity. Keep letting your exhales melt you into the floor, just enough so that your spine doesn't have to be so engaged in strength, but moving towards suppleness. So you have the right amount of strength, and then you move towards suppleness, and then you marry them together. That's a really powerful thing. Too much strength is just going to calcify us. And yet we can't be, you know, soft-boiled eggs all the time either. We need some backbone, and we need supple. Interlace your hands behind your back, and this is why we move into back bending poses, to remind you, why am I doing this again? You'll have those moments, I have them too, where it's like, I'm on my mat, why am I doing this? Then you breathe out, and you go, okay, I get it. Take your hands off your butt. You want to think about flexing your toes. So right now, come onto the balls of your feet. Yeah, push through your heels and get into your legs. And then go ahead and bring yourself up. You keep your pubic bone pushing into the floor, and you just think about peeling your upper body away from the ground. Chin tucks towards your chest a little bit, Jim, so that you get length in your neck. Chin to chest. This. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Rise a little higher on an inhale. On the exhale, release, return to the floor. Cheek to one side. Full breath in. Mouth wide open. Let it go. Interlace your fingers again at your low back locust pose. Straighten your arms as much as possible. And if it's not comfortable for your arms and your shoulder blades, you could always take your arms apart and squeeze them toward the sides of your body. Push your pubic bone and thighs into the floor, but let your upper body see the light of day. Lift something off the ground. Hug the belly to the spine. Release out of the pose all the way. Release the arms too. Good. Can you take your arms into cactus? So basically your elbows line up with your, what are those things called on the football field there? Goal post. Yeah, make your arms like goal posts, Jim. Mary's got it. So just, yeah.
Somebody's got it.
Mary's got it all figured out back here.
Glad somebody does.
And then she comes back here to snooze because she knows no one's looking. All right, go ahead. Calm up on an inhale with your cactus arms off the floor too. So get your arms out here, Jim, and just come up off the floor.
Like this?
Yep, now pick your arms up off the ground with you. Oh, like this. Now he's going to make me do it.
Yeah.
This.
Oh, okay. All right, now I get you.
Shoulder blades squeeze to mid-spine. Lengthen those legs behind you and squeeze your thighs together, Mary, toward each other. Notice the stability in the lower body. It's going to make the spine feel better, safer to go somewhere new. Empty everything, come down. Nice work. Breathe in. Mouth wide open, clear. Cactus, goalpost, whatever you want to call it. Inhale yourself back up. It's as if you're squeezing your elbows towards your body. Shoulder blades hug. Go everything toward middle. Your legs squeeze toward a midline. Your belly pulls into spine. Right here, stay. 5. Keep breathing though. 4, 3. Nice, Mary. Nice. 3, 2, 1. Empty everything to get to the floor. Bend your knees. Bend your knees. Me too for the part. So sorry, Rob. The yogi alarm. Oh, just windshield wipe side to side. Okay. Roll over, come onto your back, however you want to do it.
Better not be the digestive part.
No.
You're gonna eat those words.
Going this way, this way.
Literally eat the words. Okay, arms over your head. In a relaxed way. Maybe the elbows are bent. Bend your knees. Feet are hip width apart. Full breath in where everything rises. Your chest, your belly rise. Exhale, knees drop right, chin left. Breathe in where you are. Mouth wide open, clear. Breath in, bring it back up. Clear out. Let the legs move left, chin touch to right shoulder. Make sure your shoulders are on the ground. Just breathe in. Mouth wide out. Bring your knees up. Exhale, knees into your chest. Rock side to side. Let your spine just have a little massage. Breath in. Move it out. And then bring your feet flat to the floor. Feet hip width apart. And find your way into bridge. Just think, I lift my hips up, but you really got to lengthen that, iron out that lumbar spine toward the back of the knees. But you don't forget your feet. Bring your feet just a tiny bit wider, Jim. And then it's as if your thighs are squeezing a block. It's as if your thighs are spinning toward the floor. Inner thighs. The outer legs. Nice, Mary. Shoulders, are they drawn down from your earlobes? Chest toward the back wall. Spine moves to heart. Connecting the dots. Exhale, release out of the pose. Full breath in. Clear it out. Move right into bridge again. Your feet firm into the floor. Your outer ankles press toward the side walls. Your inner thighs spin down toward the ground. And then your upper body says, I'm peeling out of here. I'm peeling out of the hips, in front of the pelvis. Exhale your way down. Easy in. Nice peaceful sigh. Go ahead and one more. Bridge. Remember the integrity of feet and legs first. And be in the pose, but your breathing is just fluid. Let your breathing do you. Feel your heart cracking open. Light of day between your collarbones. Exhale down. Bring the soles of your feet together. For a moment, let the soles of the feet come together, the knees drop out to the sides. And find the right placement of your feet. If they're up too close to your buttocks, it might feel like I don't have enough room. If they're too far apart, if the feet are too far away from the body, it might feel a little awkward. So find your pose. Find your pose. And just don't even try to breathe at this point. Just let yourself breathe. Your body knows how to breathe. Your body's got you covered. And all we do is we make our inhales a little longer and our exhales a little longer and slower. And our nervous system will be covered. Being more present when we're engaging with the rest of our day and the people in it. The mind-body connection will be covered. But you do a little work to help, get yourself that access. And then you just enjoy it. Let yourself enjoy it by receiving it. You can press the soles of your feet together a little more, like the four corners of your feet, and you might feel a little bit of intensity in the groin. I always do. But you're not bullying your feet to hammer together so you can feel this intensity that you can't breathe in. I always figured out one day in my practice, if I couldn't breathe, I didn't want to be in the pose. And then I equated that to if you can't breathe in it, it'll be difficult to be in it. So finding that pose right now with the butterfly, knees out to the side, feet together, but find it in a way that it can feel, you can feel the benefits of opening up that space in your body, but it's not too intense. Find a middle. It's not too much, it's not too little. Draw your knees into your chest again. Rock side to side. Either roll over to your right side or rock up to flat feet, up and back. It's up to you. Make your way into downward dog. From downward dog, shift forward into high push-up on a full breath in. Chin away from chest. Exhale, rock forward, low down, breathe out. Full breath, upward facing. Full breath out, all of it out, down dog. Right foot's gonna come into a variation of pigeon. So bring your right foot forward, and you can walk that foot over. Take that right knee, shin down, right thigh down. But get some length through the back leg a little bit. And then feel like I draw my right hip back. My left hip steers forward. And then can you lengthen your spine out and then fold. And if you need the block, use it. It's to your advantage. You want to let that hip just fall. Just be with breath. And you're not here forever, so make the most of it. Shavasana is on the way. Earlier in the practice, I asked you to dedicate the practice to you and only you. All for you. This entire week you have given out. Last week you gave out to people. It's all about output, mainly productivity and output. Is there a place, is there an experience that you had maybe over the last couple of weeks where you're suddenly really aware that that experience took a lot out of you? And so then it's like, you don't have all your life force to keep moving in life with. I want you to take in a breath, clear it out. And I want you to silently say to yourself, I call back my energy from any place it was left, or it felt siphoned, or however you word it, you know what I'm saying. Call your energy back into yourself in full, while you're also stretching out your hip. And can you envision that your energy, which is your life force, that's why this is such a valuable exercise to do, envision your life force coming back into your body. so that you can be at your best. And so you feel a fuller sense of self. Bring your hands to the floor. Slowly make your way out of the pose. Find down facing dog. Rock side to side. Inhale that leg that you just did in pigeon. Take the right leg all the way up in the air. Bend the upper knee, roll open. The knee is in line with your right hip. Roll open, just appreciate room you've created. Roll the hip down. Yep, great, Mary. Keep opening. Beautiful. And then when you feel ready, move into pigeon left side. Be intentional with your alignment so that you move with integrity. And you're attentive to how to make the pose be what you need it to be. And then just breathe in, slow and easy, and breathe out slower. Make your exhales longer as they leave. There's a restorative quality that's given back to you in a pose that is so restorative, but it doesn't feel like it in the moment. If we don't feel so physically stiff and tight, we are softer. And it's not that that wasn't there. It's not that that softness of us, the heart space of us wasn't there. It's usually, there was a rigidness in front of it, or an armor. Or a guardedness. But man, when we start relaxing and we feel relaxed within ourselves, we see how much others around us need our care, our kindness, our compassion. That's why I love this practice, because it helps me to take good care of me in a fuller way. And my body doesn't feel like it's against me, or I don't feel against it. There's a kinship. That quality ripples out. And as we are better and nicer to ourselves, we are just sweeter. Breath out. And there's an ease and a relief that's given to us that we receive when we just do our best and just move into the right order of way of living. There's a rest for ourselves inside, in our soul. So in this pigeon on the left side, take a moment to ask yourself, what was life like? What was I like before yoga? How has yoga been a tool and a resource that's allowed me to become something that's still me, but even better? Breath in, clear. Get your palms rooted, slowly but steady. Body to pose with care to yourself, to your body. Down dog, left leg in the air. Send it high. Stretch it out of the hip. Bend the knee, roll open. Roll your hip down, foot to the ground. Make your way out onto your buttocks, legs out in front of you. Inhale, once you get up there, arms reach. Bend your knees a lot, fold forward. You're not looking to put your spine in more strain, so that's why bending the knees can be so helpful. Maybe opening the legs wider, whatever you need. Make the pose feel good in your body. And just fold. Let your head soften down. And you could just take your hands to grab onto your legs wherever you are, so maybe shins or ankles, wherever. But keep thinking, I send my hips back. My spine draws forward. And then I take that fold. You let your chin tuck towards your chest so you can go inward towards yourself. And you remember, I get those exhales moved out, and then there's opportunity for you to feel less confined. Again, if you struggle to breathe, you'll struggle to be in a pose, so just let the breath melt out. Keep letting your spine melt towards your heart. And then make your way out onto your back. If there's any finishing poses that you want to do, take a few minutes to do them. Like if you need another twist, if you want to put your legs in the air, if you want to do a shoulder stand, or maybe you just want to call it good. Your practice, your call. Let the practice empower you and strengthen your ability to know not just your body, your front, your back, your right and left sides, but yourself better. And you'll know what you need. Make your Shavasana your own. If you need to wiggle your hips around or take your legs further apart or closer together, whatever. Make your shoulders feel like they can relax and land on the floor. We do all these poses so that you can relax
the restlessness and the compression and the rigid areas from muscular stiffness. So if we're not in that story, we're in a story of relaxation in a genuine, fuller-bodied way. Your whole back body can fall into the floor because the floor will hold you up. Bend your knees slowly, roll to your right side, make a pillow for your head with your arms. Letting your exhalations touch the ground floor of your lungs, rather than stopping midpoint. Slowly let the exhales touch down to the ground floor of your lungs. Notice that drops you into yourself more. plumbing the breathing further down into your body. And there's a relief that comes with that feeling. It's a feeling. How do you know if you're peaceful? You feel it. How do you know if you love something or someone? You feel it. Let yourself feel restored. Let the feeling wash over you. And slowly bring your way up to seated. Bring your palms together, full body inhale. There's room for it now. Clean house on the breath out. Heart bowing forward in gratitude for how you feel now. May that force of peace be with you. Namaste.
Namaste. You can fold.
It's the expressions, Mary, that are just classic. Good work, you guys.